Dean Day Smith, Chairman of the Cecil B. Day Investment Company.
Words of tribute to you, Mayor Young, on behalf of my mother, who can't be here tonight. She's attending a meeting at West Georgia College and regrettably sends her apologies for not being here. But she does want you to know that she really loves you and has a tremendous amount of respect for you, Mayor. After I'll share a little words with you, we'll have Coretta Scott King, who will come and speak to the mayor, as well as his oldest daughter, Andrea. I'd like to start out by kind of putting a little acronym to Mayor Young to give a little perspective on this. And the one I'd like to use is VIMS, V-I-M-S, like vim and vigor. The V stands for vision, the I stands for integrity, the M stands for moral, and the S stands for service. You only have to look around this city and know that a lot of what has gone on here in the last 8 years is because Mayor Young is a visionary. He has such a dream for this city, for this state, for this nation, for this world. And the neat thing about Mayor Young is he gets you and me to buy into it, and we help make it happen. He's a man that not only has a vision, but he can make it happen as well. And as we go down the road to making it happen, we know that we can count on Mayor Young to have the highest amount of integrity that could ever be found in a human being. Webster defines integrity as adherence to a code of values, soundness, completeness. This is certainly you, and it certainly brings us a wonderful environment to make your vision come true. The third part of my acronym is moral. And Webster's again defines it as of or concerned with the discernment of what is good or evil, virtuous, upright, arriving from conscience. These are the rules, the ground rules that Mayor Young sets. We've certainly all seen and the example of the moral high ground that he always takes. And he's so consistent in that, whether you're working down at the street level or working at the top of one of our new towers. He's very consistent with people, and you know what to expect from him. And the last part of this acronym is service. Your whole life has been a service to others. First, you can see your service to God, and you can see how that commitment flows through all the other service areas. You can look at your children and your family and your wonderful wife, Jean, and see that the service attitude certainly started with you. And you and Jean have done a wonderful job of raising your children. Your service has been to your fellow human beings, your government, the community, locally, statewide, nationally, and globally. You have been a willing leader and a leader willing and ready to serve. It's been said what is hurting America today is the high cost of low living. Mayor Young's example of living challenges each one of us to know him to really try and follow, to challenge us to follow the high road of commitment and service. I'd like to share with you a letter to Mayor Andy Young. Although Rosa and I are unable to be with you, we did not want to miss the opportunity to add our words of appreciation to this evening's well-deserved tribute. In the 8 years that you have served as mayor, Atlanta has gained a worldwide reputation as a progressive and desirable southern city. Your energetic, creative, and courageous leadership has engendered renewed confidence in Atlanta's future growth and development. You can take great pride in knowing that for many generations to come, people will benefit from your outstanding accomplishments and your exemplary service as mayor of Atlanta. It is our pleasure to join you and your many friends and associates in wishing you continued happiness and success. Sincerely, Jimmy Carter. Well, Mayor Young, on behalf of my mother and my family, and I know everyone here, we'd like to thank you for your service to the city. for being a visionary, for serving with integrity, always taking the high moral ground, and for your willingness to serve. And I know that all of you will join me in welcoming Ms. Coretta Scott King, Chief Executive Officer of the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social Change, as she shares some words with you. Ms. King.
It has been said of the administration of John F. Kennedy that it attracted the best and the brightest. The same can be said for the American Civil Rights Movement, which also attracted the cream of a remarkable generation of exceptionally bright, committed, and courageous young people, so many who have carved out a brilliant career in public service. None of them, however, have been more dedicated in carrying forward Martin Luther King Jr.'s unfinished work than our honoree tonight. I first met Jean and Andrew Young in 1957, and I didn't see them again until 1961 when he was selected to administer a voter education program in cooperation with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference activities. It became clear to Martin early on that this young man had something special to give, and so he hired him as an administrative assistant. Before long, he became SCLC's executive director and then executive vice president. I need not recount all of the highlights of Mayor Young's distinguished career, for they've been done so well here tonight. But I'd like to point out that by virtue of either experience or moral values, few elected officials in America are better prepared to lead this great nation. I'd like to point out, however, that Andrew Young is not just a great leader, he is a great human being, a man of uncommon decency and a rare generosity of spirit. I can tell you with no hesitation whatsoever that a lot of heroes of the movement, some of whom are vocal supporters of women's rights today, were male chauvinists back then, but not Andy Young. And I hope that Jean, Andrea, Lisa, and Paula will agree with me on this. Andy was one of the few who really listened to what women had to say and respected their views. I remember after my husband was assassinated, many people offered help and urged me to call them if I needed them. They were all sincere, and I appreciated their sympathy and support. But not Andy. He didn't make such promises. He just showed up to take the children to the park or to a ball game or just to horse around with them. Not once, but many times. The children are grown up now, but they thought of him as a surrogate father and still call him Uncle Andy. The thing about Andy Young, he doesn't make promises. He doesn't just say, you can count on me. But when things get tough, he is the kind of friend who is there when he is needed. And in my life, that counts a lot. And so, Andy, I am proud to join with all of those good people in paying tribute to your accomplishments and all you've done to make Atlanta one of the most livable, progressive cities on earth. I also want to express my gratitude for your unrelenting support of the King Center, which you have served as a co-founder and helped with the planning and development, and an active board member and our vice president for international affairs. I know I can speak for your family, friends, and the uncounted multitudes of people who have been helped by your leadership in saying, we thank you, we salute you, and we love you. And now, Andrew Young, the daughter of Andy and Jean Young.
Good evening. I have here a message I'd like to share. Dear Andy, you have been a great mayor for the city of Atlanta and can be truly proud of the extraordinary progress made under your administration. Warm personal regards, J.W. Marriott, Jr., our hosts this evening, and we are very thankful to him for that. Andrew Young is such a wonderful family man that NBC had to do a TV series about him. He must be the real model for the Bill Cosby Show, because watching it makes me feel like I'm still 16 years old. Our household was amazingly like the Huxtable family, especially because you had to have a sense of humor. And somehow my parents kept the romance in their marriage, even with 4 children and countless incorrigible dogs. But Daddy always managed to be at home when it was most important. Religious holidays and family birthdays, you could count on him to liven up the celebration. He even brought my mother to Washington to see the birth of her first grandchild. In the Young household, there was always plenty of children, several dogs, plenty of noise, plenty of fun, plenty of laughter, plenty of tears, and plenty. Thank you for being a wonderful father.
And the 1986 Mayor Scholar.
Good evening. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure for me to stand before you this evening to share with you how Mayor Young has impacted the educational scene of Atlanta since he has been chief executive of the city. From an even more personal standpoint, I would like to share with this audience how the mayor has made an impact on my life. You are all familiar with the Dream Jamboree, the Mayor's Youth Leadership Institute, the Mayor's Task Force on Public Education, which is chaired by Mrs. Jean Young, who is committed to the young people of this city, along with her husband, the IBM Writing to Read program, and the Equitable Mayor Scholarship, all of which have been incorporated into the city during Mayor Young's tenure in office. I found out about the Equitable Mayor's Contest my senior year at Bass High School. This was the second year of existence for the event, which has provided 4 high school seniors per year with a $4,000 scholarship since 1985. I was especially interested in the scholarship competition because I was torn between attending the United States Naval Academy and Emory University. I was accepted to both institutions, but I wanted to attend Emory because of the tremendous history and credentials Emory has in the field of medicine. Unfortunately, I needed more finances than my family could afford. I had to turn to outside sources in order to attend my school that I desired to attend the most. The essay topic in 1986 was, what black scientist or inventor had impacted your life the most? The person that I chose, and I'm proud to say so, was Dr. Charles Richard Drew. And with God on my side, I was able to be a Merit Scholar and attend an institution that would best prepare me for a career in medicine. If the Lord is willing, I will graduate with a double degree, BA in Biology and Religion from Emory University in May of 1990. Thank you, Mayor Young, for having the vision and commitment to establish the Equitable Merit Scholarship, which has enabled me to further my education. At this time, we will have Ms. Jackie Weeks, President of the Gilbert Gardens and Gilbert Annex Tenant Association, come and speak to you on behalf of community involvement. Thank you.
Mayor Young, Mrs. Young, other family members, ladies and gentlemen, I count it as an honor and indeed a pleasure to come before you tonight to honor Mayor Andrew Young, who's proven to be more than just a mayor. He's proven at one time I thought he was an adversary, but Mayor Young, he's an ally. He's been to me and other public housing tenants and the children especially, someone to look up to, a role model. Mayor Young has done things where, as we felt, no one cared and no one was interested. He's done things like see to it that 160 young kids would go to Disney World, where we were scuffling, trying to get money to see to it that they went. He helped make it possible not only for the tickets to enter there, but the transportation and the hotel fare. Not only that, Mayor Young has done things like where our children graduated from high school and all they got was their diplomas. Mayor Young took the time when he had a busy schedule to say, I want to honor these kids with a reception and a special certificate. He's a role model to let the kids know that there's something other than being a dope dealer, than stealing. Mayor Young, you're an inspiration, you're a friend, and my hat's off to you. I salute you. And I also want everybody to know he threatened me. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Hermon J. Russell, President of the H.J. Russell and Company.
Annie, Jean, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I believe that I have one of the most enjoyable tasks that I have been a true wonderful evening. I have hoped that Charlotte Lattimore will be joining me in this part of the program, but I regret that he could not be here with us tonight. I want you to know that it's a great opportunity for me to be here tonight in appreciation of Mayor Young, 8 years of service. Before I begin my toast to the mayor, I would like to say something about Jean Young, who have really been an inspiration to all of us as Atlanta First Lady. Many little wives are overshadowed by their husband's success, but not Jean Young. An educator, community leader, mother of 4 successful children. And although you wonder how Jean can do so much, Jean, a grandmother, Jean Young, you would never know about looking at Jean. Jean Young might be called a Renaissance lady. Why? Providing care and love for her family. Jean have also reached out to all Atlanta kids supporting and helping to improve the public education, daycare, housing, and other social programs on their behalf. Jean, the young men and women of this city owe you a great deal for your effort, and if you will come up to the podium for just a moment,